18,000 Chesterfield Airport Road.
As all of you may know, the home of the Cancel This studio is located at the all-inclusive private jet hangar Strategic Air Services. Founded in Chesterfield, Missouri, they take pride in offering a meticulous approach to private aviation through services that fully manage your trip from takeoff to landing. Strategic Air Services is more than just storage for your aircraft. They offer state-of-the-art amenities to its members and guests. When you are not traveling, you have the luxury of enjoying their world-class gym, conference rooms, lounges, and so much more. Strategic Air Services offers an unparalleled luxury experience for all things private aviation. If you're looking for a new place to call home for your aircraft, give them a call today at 636-400-7601. Again, that's 636-400-7601, or visit their website at strategicairservices.net.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. It's cancelthisshow.com. Hey, coming up also at 9 o'clock today, we've got Justin Hicks. Almost called him Justin Sparks. How about that, Lizzie?
A lot of people do.
I don't want to throw that into the atmosphere, but
right.
Missouri representative who went viral with some video. Lizzie showed it, courtesy of cancelthisshow.com. People saw it. They sent it. He was on Fox and Friends yesterday. We'll get into him and talk to him about some of the things happening at the Capitol. I'm going to get his opinion on this whole Trump stuff going on, too, because it's a lot of Trump stuff going on all over the place. Once again, one of the big stories yesterday as well was what was happening with Bud Light jumping on the side of transgender. Dylan, what's Dylan's last name again?
Montave, I don't know.
Montave?
No.
It starts with an M,
Mulvaney.
right?
Mulvaney.
Right.
Okay.
Anyway, promoting transgender, everything from that standpoint. I don't know who sent us the video, if it was Kevin, Scotty, whatever.
Kevin.
But
Scotty.
there's no better way to
Kevin.
there's no better way to kickstart this podcast today. As you know, we are based out of the Midwest, St. Louis, live Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. And of course, you can catch us live. You can catch us right after the show. All the episodes saved in our library on cancelthisshow.com. You can also go to the regular podcast, straight audio, and listen to everything else that we have there as well. But I can't think of a better way to kickstart this than Kid Rock jumping in, giving his 2 cents on Bud Light. I repeat on what Bud Light and Budweiser. It's actually Anheuser-Busch, but he decided to make Bud Light something with a gun. We'll show this video. Are we showing the commercial? Yeah, here's Kid Rock.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today. Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible. Fuck Bud Light and fuck Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
I have a feeling the IRS is going to be showing up at his home.
Why is that?
Because that's what happens these days.
Yeah, but you said you got to fight. You got to speak out.
You do. You have to speak out for your beliefs.
Well said. Well done, Kid Rock. I'm sorry. People may agree, may not agree. I was out somewhere last night, and I specifically and intentionally did not. And I'm not a beer guy. I had a beer. I intentionally did not have a beer. And Vic's own little world and his own little reality, I didn't, because I'm kind of pissed off too at Anheuser-Busch. Why? Don't get involved. Don't get involved. Don't get involved. That's not, I promise you, that's not what Anheuser-Busch was about when they started this product, when they started this business, when it became such a legendary company in the St. Louis area. So Kid Rock, have at it. That's going around the area. It's going around the internet, the interweb. So I just want to let you know, there's Kid Rock having some fun.
We need to get Kid on the show.
But we're trying. We're efforting. Also, there was another commercial. Oh, we don't have that. Okay, never mind. Anyway,
That's a TikTok thing, and I don't have TikTok, so we can't sign into.
Okay, I could do that later. That's cool. So Kid Rock getting it all started. All right, that's our fun for the day. Now we jump into the seriousness of a lot that's going on, guys. We're here. Tabitha, Lizzie, Eric's on his way. Here we go. Kid Rock sets the stage. Donald Trump jumps in. What time is he going to be in court? Do we know yet?
2:15.
Okay, because we knew it was this afternoon.
Well, 2:15 Eastern time.
I thought it was 11 Eastern. He was.
I don't know. I was told 2:15.
I had heard 11, but then now I heard it was afternoon, so it probably is around
Tabitha
2.
talked to the judge, so it's.
I did not.
The judge,
I
she
heard
knows
11,
the judge.
11 for the court, and then he was going to be out of there by between 2:15 and 3 back to Florida because he's got his press conference.
Yeah, I don't know. When I read it this morning, it said 2:15.
Here, Tabitha, can I lean to you?
So
today?
we don't know.
Start us off. Please.
In other words,
Please start us off somewhere with this drama, this theater, as I've been calling it forever, that's going on, because I have like 30 different angles to take today.
as far as what's going on,
Break
with
the
Trump-
ice. Break the ice, please.
Well, first of all, we all know this is a big sham. I mean, come on. Let's just face the facts. Stormy Daniels wrote a letter that said that Donald Trump did not pay her money, that she did not accept money, that she did not have an affair with him. To me, that is witness enough to where this shouldn't be going on. Now we have Donald Trump being indicted. Okay, indicted. This is a precedent, sets a precedent for not only a former president, but someone who is getting ready to run for another term to be indicted and have to turn themselves in, to be arrested. And now they're still saying they don't think there's going to be a mugshot.
no,
There
not.
will be fingerprinting,
No handcuff
No-
shot.
no handcuffs,
No mugshot.
And so it's all theater. But what is it theater for? Is it a distraction?
Why do you
Is-
think the
of course.
mugshot got canceled? Because everyone talking about T-shirts and all the things that could be
Because
raised
he would
with
be a
it?
martyr. That's
Yeah, a
why
martyr.
they don't want him to be a martyr, is what it is.
But-
and he will be. This is the best thing that could have happened to Donald Trump.
It is. And all of you, thank you, Tabitha. Great getting us started, breaking the ice. And all of you, I don't care if you're Democrats, liberals, independents, conservatives, whatever you want to call yourself, libertarians. If you think this is good, if you think this is right, number one, you haven't done your study, you don't know law, and you have something against Donald Trump. Because I'm promising you right now, this is a sham. It's a joke. We've talked about it all along. Look at every site. 34 felonies. Give me a
I know.
break.
34.
all on a
man.
convicted felon, Michael Cohen's testimony. That's it. Who has an axe to grind with Donald Trump.
Who is a weasel?
Now we find out the head of staff, also for Bragg's office, has pushed to get Trump removed from office for several, has had a very public issue with Donald Trump. The worst presidency in the history of this country is currently going on. Joe Biden taking body blow, one after the other. The Democrats, the liberals, the people who lead Manhattan need something to take the attention off of Joe Biden and his nowhere to be found, inept vice president, the worst one in the history of this country as well. So with that being said, the TV coverage that I have seen, it's a sham. Be careful. Be careful. Eric Adams, the mayor of New York City, a liberal, a Democrat. Don't come to my city and start trouble.
I saw that.
Really? Give me a break. Give me a freaking break. Are you kidding me? Liberal, ultra liberal Manhattan. Really? Like you're going to see tons of Donald Trump supporters in New York and Manhattan for an arraignment that is allegedly supposed to start at 11 and then culminate at about 2:15.
I think you'll see some people there, but think about this. This is a distraction. It is a big distraction because they know they have no case.
There's no
This is-
documents. There's
It's
no
all
proof.
ridiculous.
People
There's
are-
nothing.
People are spreading lies that don't like Donald Trump.
Cohen already went to prison for this. He's
It's
already been in prison. This is done. It was over with years ago. It's just, but what is it a distraction of? What's the big shiny object to distract us from? That's what we need to be looking
Joe
at.
Biden, the crash of the dollar, what's happening across
So much
seas.
going on.
It because I'm sorry, Americans, not all Americans, but a lot of us, and we have to get ourselves out of it. We like movies, we like drama, we like tabloids, we like social media, and this is all right there.
And guess what it does? It sells. It sells news. It's sensationalism.
And then at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you right now, this won't be the end. And I said this about a year ago. Any way possible, the Democrat Party, any way possible, you can call it the deep state, any way possible, liberals, any way possible, Democratic politicians can try to keep Donald Trump in the news, they will. Think back to it's so easy to forget the past. Everything that man has been through, lies, everything, the Russian hoax, all the bull crap that's out there. Nothing has stuck because it hasn't been there. Then you've got morons and uneducated people. Oh yeah, he does this, he does that, because they see a headline and they don't study, because the national media is corrupt. And to some extent, local media is corrupt because they don't tell you the full story. If they tell one side, that's great. Tell the other story. I don't know if I know, and I've never been some rah, he's the best politician guy I've ever seen talking about Donald Trump. But I don't know if there is a tougher man, a more hardened man, a more solid man who doesn't need any of this bull crap, as we've talked about, who doesn't need to sit in this crap that's going on. And he chooses to, not because he needs it or needs money, but because he wants to, who's been all 100% America and has a track record of it, who has beat everything that has come at him, and yet he's still standing there with everything else smoldering and falling down around him on fire. The man is still there standing. And if people don't see the sham, and I don't even know if I should call it a sham.
It's a sham.
The dirty attack that's going on right now, especially with all the idiots that watch CNN. I mean, you're an idiot. I watch some of the coverage. You're just a flat out idiot. You're uneducated. You can come into the show. We'll talk about it. We'll help you along. We'll teach you and show you that you have serious emotional issues if you're going after Donald Trump just because you don't like the man. Call him names, call him whatever. Donald Trump right now is the toughest man alive, dealing with a bunch of crap. I just wish there was some sort of evidence. And guess what? At the end of the day, I mean, this could go on for a year.
It could.
They're going to go after him.
They'll try.
The deep state, the Democrat, they'll go after him for charges in Georgia. Then they'll go after him for, quote, classified documents all along. Where's Joe Biden's issues? He's got documents found in 5 states? Are you kidding me? No, there's a reason why Donald Trump is not wanted by liberals and Democrats and the deep state in the presidency. And if you don't think that's because he will set this country back on track again, think again. I know I'm coming strong today, guys, but what I have watched on TV, what I have witnessed, the BS, the Eric Adams press conference, the coverage, oh, it could get wild. It could mean Trump's inciting violence. Like, what, really?
There will probably be fake Trump supporters there, fake Trump supporters causing trouble, and then they're going to blame all of us for everything. But you know what, Vic? This is probably the best thing that could have happened to Donald Trump. It's probably the best thing that could happen to the conservative movement, because finally people are waking up and people are getting angry, and it's drawing people out that weren't there before. The silent majority sometimes needs something like this to rise again. Trump, look at the $4 million. And I think what I heard, he was close to $6 million.
It's $8 million now.
$8 million now. $8 million.
I mean, he's continuing to grow his base because of this, because we're tired of it. When things like this happen, this is when we speak up and when we speak out. And this is what gets us out to vote. So the Democrats, they're not stupid. They're not stupid.
They're not.
So what's up their sleeve? They
only
know.
People that watch CNN and think that what they're saying is right are stupid.
So what are
I've
they
been
up
stupid
to?
in my life at times too.
Well, because everybody at CNN knows they're playing us. So if you believe they're crap, then you are stupid. I totally agree with Vic on that, and I agree with you, Tabitha. It is an entire show is what's going on. I can't believe people believe it.
It's all theater for sure. But there's something more to it than that. What is really going on?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Because they know that this is going to get Trump's base riled up.
Absolutely.
They know it's going to make him money. They know this is going to get more voters out to the polls. And there's something that is going on that we don't not yet know about for them to take this chance.
Yeah, so we'll talk about some of the specifics here. 34 felonies, all based on Michael Cohen, convicted felon. End of story right there.
Little sad puppy
Number
dog.
2, there is not one shred of evidence that Donald Trump has done anything illegal, not even a misdemeanor. His own attorney has gone, wait a second, mark my words, that not even a parking ticket could they find on Donald Trump. The only reason this is going to court or trial, if you understand anything about law, and it's unfortunate, which is why you have seen even people who have ripped Donald Trump in the past, political adversaries that are conservative, coming to the forefront going, there's nothing here. There's not one shred of evidence What is happening is only because you have a Democratic state of New York. Manhattan is all liberal, liberal judges, and a liberal DA. Not only is he liberal, it's all right to be liberal. He's a woke liberal. So Soros funded, as we have talked about, multiple people within his office who have publicly ripped Trump over the years, wanting him out of the presidency, all with an agenda to attack the guy. And here we are having to talk about it, wasting time on national media, wasting resources, all so that we have a good story so that Americans can have their appetite for drama fed when all of it's crap. It's all a sham. And guess what? Even at the end of the day, if all the liberal judges and DAs went after Trump and he was found guilty of everything, guess what? He's still running. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. It won't stop him from running for president. He could be behind freaking bars and run for president. Think about it. It's all another sham. Remember when the Russia hoax, oh my God, he's going to prison. It was the same damn thing.
Mhm.
And guess what? As soon as it was found out that Schiff was a liar, guess what? It all just disappeared from the national media.
Of course it did.
But now platforms like ours and others won't let it go away. We're going to talk about it. We're going to bring it to the forefront. Don't forget what has already been done to this man and how he continues to stand there and fight when he doesn't have to. And if you think it's easy being in the limelight like that, you think it's easy under the tax. If you think Donald Trump is still a human being, if you think it's fun and easy to be attacked all the time, try it yourself. It's not. It is not, even for a man like Donald Trump. So,
but you know where they're going to get him is that, when Michael Cohen went to prison, well, how long ago was that? 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
I thought it was at least 3.
When he went to prison, it was because he made the payout to Stormy Daniels. Well, Trump later admitted that he gave that payment, he gave the money to Michael Cohen to pay Stormy Daniels. And so that's really what all of this about. So they do have that admission from Donald Trump that he did give that money to Cohen to pay Stormy Daniels. So that's what is bringing all this about. But here's the thing.
His attorney even said there's nothing here.
There's nothing there. But if it was that big of a deal, why didn't they do it back then when he first talked about it?
Well,
whenever Michael Cohen went to jail, why didn't they do something then?
We know
exactly why. They've been just sitting on it waiting.
No, but they couldn't get anything with it.
And they won't get anything now.
They couldn't get anything, and that's why. This is all a sham. We already talked about it. I don't even want to call it a sham. I meant attack. It's a vicious attack. And then here all the media racing to New York. Fox News this morning with their live reporters on, oh my God, the security's all around right now. We're just waiting to see if anything happens. Give me an effing break. Are you kidding me?
Pathetic. I saw it this morning.
The
too,
theater that is being put out right now, even by Fox. But at least Fox is calling it for what it is. It's a joke. They're saying it too. But you have to be there because other media is there, which makes it just.
It's just all a joke. Come on. I mean, look at all the stuff Hillary Clinton has done. Never has she had the perp walk. Never has she been arraigned. None of this ever happened with her. And she flat out committed true crimes, sharing classified documents, having a server in her house, all of the homicides that are tied to her, like Vince Foster. Nothing's happened to the Clintons.
I just really do feel bad for people who are clueless, who really think, oh, there's something bad here. Oh, Orange Man, go to prison. This is bad. I mean, it's just, most people don't do the deep dives. And I did. I've looked at it, and I've, as much as I could possibly look up the information, looking for something. And this has been going on for 3 weeks. Is there something here? Talking to prosecuting attorneys that I know is nothing. There's nothing. And the only reason it's in trial is because liberal Democrats in their positions have pushed it through. A liberal grand jury in Manhattan. If this is in Missouri, it does not happen. I'm just telling you, if it's in Florida, it does not happen. It's only because it's in the state of New York right now. And we know what the state of New York is like, especially when it comes to politicians.
Speaking of, tomorrow, hopefully, we're going to work out and have Dan Bibb on the show, who is a former assistant DA in New York City. And he can shed some light. He was canceled before cancel culture was known. And so he's going to be a really good person to talk to about what's going on in New York City.
What do you mean? What's going on?
As far as, the DA office, the agenda of the New York
Oh, of course.
prosecutors, he lives there. He still practices law there. He'll have a lot to talk about. It'll be very interesting.
Just people, you need to be honest with yourself, and you need to be honest in general. We can talk about this Donald Trump crap all day long, but you can't talk about it without talking about the Clinton stuff, as Tab brought up. You can't talk about it without bringing up the Hillary stuff.
How many people did Bill pay off?
And, well, the only difference between what happened,
I believe
with
it was
Clinton,
3.
The only thing that happened with Bill Clinton, he made a deal with the special prosecutor at the time. They made a deal. They cut a deal. If you go back and look at the history.
He perjured himself.
There was no special investigator in this situation. And like I said, once this ends, then you've got another liberal investigator with the whole classified document situation. So just expect, this isn't going anywhere. The attacks against Donald Trump will continue. Now, here's where I think you need to stop, take a deep breath. Why are there continual attacks over and over and over, and not one thing is stuck over and over and over against one man? Ask yourself, why? Why are there continual attacks against this man from the left over and over and over again? And now, isn't it ironic how it seems that Donald Trump, at least for now, in my humble opinion, has solidified the Republican Party? I can't remember a time right now in the past year where the Republican Party seems as together than they are right now.
Very good point. And Ron DeSantis's numbers, if you believe polls, I don't know that I always believe them, but his numbers are dropping because Trump's are increasing because of all of this.
And that's why I said this is the best thing that could have happened. That's why I said a couple weeks ago, Trump has to hope that he gets arrested, because I'll tell you what, this could have gone a whole different direction.
Sure could have.
Had he not been arrested, had he not been going through this arraignment and not been indicted, he would have looked like a complete fool after raising money, because we talked about that. This is the best thing that could have happened to him and to us.
This is why
Absolutely.
you need to ditch national media. You ditch any media that doesn't tell the full story. You can get two sides of a story, and everybody's intelligent enough to know if they're hearing both sides of a story. You will be able to see. You ditch it, because the national media are the ones who are perpetuating this. They're the ones who are pushing this. They're the ones that are only giving you headlines and not doing the deep dives as we try to. The mainstream media is not good when it comes to these situations.
No.
It's just not fair. I was in the business for so long. I'm still in it. You need to tell the full story. Okay, tell the full story. I wish to God there was something, at least something that would meant that we could talk about. Yeah, Trump did this. It was really bad. Yeah. There's not. There is not. And his attorney is saying, mark my words, you will see nothing will come out of this.
And don't you think that's why there's not a mugshot? I get the handcuffs were safety with the for Donald Trump, but don't you think the mugshot, they're not doing it because they look like a fool now? Boy, if they thought they had something, I think there'd be a mugshot everywhere.
I think it's my opinion anyway, is that they don't want to make a martyr out of him. They know that the visual of seeing Trump behind bars, or seeing him in a mugshot in a booking room would just incite us to such a degree that they would never recover from it.
They already know.
Yep, they know.
They know which is why, Tabitha, we're like, okay, with this whole situation going on, and we already know the evil attacks, the liberal evil attacks from the left, they're not going to stop. They can't stand to see the poll ratings. They can't stand to see Donald Trump as the clear number one favorite for the Republican primary, and he is. And we can say, well, we don't know about polls all the time, but when you have every single poll with at least a 25 to 35% lead in a primary, yeah, the attacks are coming after Donald Trump even harder now, because he is the candidate. And at some point, they're going to realize, oh, crap, we've just solidified. Or unless it's part of the plan, we need to rile up America. We need to rile up conservatives. We need to get some stuff going. Because
there is a plan.
Because when Eric Adams jumps in for his theater, the mayor of New York, as I mentioned earlier, and says, oh, don't come to my city and bring your misguided anger. Like, really? Really?
That was insulting. I mean, I think he's
That's
a jerk
what
anyway, but that was
BLM
insulting.
does.
Yes.
That's what Antifa does. That's what RevCom does. That's not what conservatives do. And you go, oh, let's go to January 6th. Break down January 6th. Break down the video of Capitol Police dressing as Trump supporters and starting stuff. Break down the video of Antifa and RevCom from January 6th. Look at all the video. There's a reason why the shaman was released early from prison 14 months early, because the videos from the Twitter jump showed. There's a reason for all of it. But national media won't show you that. National media won't cover it, will they? Because it's mainstream media and it's not what you're supposed to see. You're only supposed to see one side of the story so that you don't have the full truth, which is a problem.
I think a lot of this is just about a distraction. I mean, look at everything that's going on while everyone's talking about Trump. Trump's indictment on every single news channel. It's a big money day at CNN, and in the background we have factual information that the Chinese balloon was in fact gathering
Of course
information from our military bases. But that's not on the news anywhere. Why? Because everybody's talking about Trump.
Because Joe Biden is the worst president, and this is the worst administration in the history of this country. It might compare with the worst in the world. I'm not kidding you, because he's nowhere to be found. He's not talking. He's not he never doesn't do any media. You have no idea because we know he can't do it. Whichever Biden's out there, it doesn't matter if it's Biden 1 or 2. They're both bad. They both.
They're all bad.
It's like, what? So yeah, you've got be smart. You got to take the attention off of them. I mean, what's good with our country right now? Nothing. There's
absolutely nothing.
And who's the leader? It's Joe Biden. He is the selected leader of everything that has gone bad. Okay. That's where we do it. We break down. No video. There were media outlets, of course, they wanted cameras in there. The judge said no. There will be 5 pool photographers inside the courtroom today. So those 5 pool photographers will be able to send out photographs, but not video. With that being said, how long does that go on for? Okay. And then after today, what really happens? It just sits back, and then it's a big nothing. It's a big media distraction. It's just a big shiny object over in the corner while they distract us about everything else that's going on in the world. And this is cancelthisshow.com. Once again, we have new listeners jumping in all the time. Fairly new podcast, live TV and audio. For your viewing pleasures, just go to cancelthisshow.com. We're Monday through Friday live, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, but you can catch us all the time on cancelthisshow.com. Please check out our advertisers, our partners who help make this go. If you can donate to what we're doing, that is a great thing as well to keep the free speech going. We have lots of bills around here too as well. So we thank you for jumping in. Scotty Gherkin is our engineer. He's on the boards, taking care of everything all the time. Lizzie Sparks on social media and studio as well. Eric Johnson here, Tabitha Hassel, and I'm Vic Faust.
I don't need to say anything. You guys are doing a good job. Isn't this the Vic Faust you wish would have been on Channel 2?
Yes, I was saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I was saying that with Friends. I said,
Do you know what I'm saying?
I always knew it was in him, but now he's like coming out there.
I mean,
He's totally on point.
I hate bull crap.
Wouldn't that be? I would watch.
I want truth.
Yes, I could see him back on.
Every freaking story needs to be told, and we don't do. That's why we do this. It's just my God. I've reached my.
If Vic Faust and Mandy were like this every night. Right.
It
would be destination TV. It would be like Love Boat back in the 80s. You would show up in front of your TV.
I don't. Yeah. Mandy wouldn't have let me do this.
No, she would have done it with you.
No, she would not have.
Dude,
I'm not going to get into Mandy.
But now he's doing
there
it
is
here.
no way Mandy would have been doing that.
He doesn't need Mandy or Fox 2.
I get it.
Now he's here. And I'll tell you what,
it's
this
just
is
about
the Vic,
truth, guys.
This is the Vic you always were.
I know, but don't
you just
feel
that way?
Don't you feel like that's
it was the Vic you always were?
Yes.
I mean, don't you feel
you
like
were a counselor at one time? Weren't you a psych? Did you? You weren't
no.
You a psychologist
It was
or something?
she needed a psychiatrist,
hypnotherapist.
Oh, that's right. She hypnotized people.
No, and Tabitha's killing it today, and Lizzie's killing it today. This is the news I wish that we had. But here's
aren't you glad we have canceled this?
Here's what I'm a little frustrated with, because you guys you're doing the same thing that the news does, kind of, because you guys are bringing up these amazing points and these very good hypotheses. But every 5 minutes or so on the show, you'll hear you guys go, what does this mean? You'll ask the rhetorical question.
Well, because the media
And
is
you don't-
government ran media. If they're telling the news stations to do something, it's for a purpose.
I know, but the frustrating part is you guys don't ever come to the answer like, I'll tell you what this means. And you have like
There
this.
is no
Well,
answer.
I
sometimes-
know. It's this
sometimes we
quantifiable
know.
answer that you're like, okay, now it's time to bring in Elliot Davis
Well, it's
because I
time to
paid for
guess.
this, and we got to get that dude
That's
out.
why we brought you
I just
in.
almost
Yeah.
spit my
Tell us
water
like
out.
this.
It's literally running down my face.
But that's how good it is. But I'm starting to get a flow. Okay, this has nothing to do with Trump v. Biden. Biden is lost. He's gone. He's looking
not
for an
here.
ice cream platter, and he wants to go and sit and watch some
chocolate chip.
Golden
I was just
Girls
gonna
is
say,
on.
chocolate chip.
Give me my Ben
So
and Jerry's.
we always think it's about Biden. The new discussion has nothing to do with Trump versus whatever. I think it's this. So today is Trump v. Soros. Got it? Every time you see one of this is almost a good thing that this is happening today. This is fantastic, actually. You're seeing what the George Soroses of the world really want to do. So the new thing is if you're going to run for office and you're going to be a prosecutor or you're going to be like today, we have the council elections. You are getting money from a George Soros. You're not a liberal. You're not a Democrat. You're not a Republican. You're not a socialist. You're a Sorosist, which is a lot different than socialism, which is a lot different than blue collar democratism. It is something that we do not have a clue about because on this show today, you guys have been going, "What's going on?"
Well,
You
sometimes
gotta
we know, and sometimes we don't know. Right now, Eric, the problem is sometimes when there's a distraction on the media, we know exactly why. In this particular instance, there's something big going on because Democrats are not stupid, and they know.
No, this is
Exactly.
the Wizard of Oz that's happening.
Well,
right now,
they
you
know
guys.
that Trump is going to be martyred because of this. They
This is
know
the Wizard of
he's going
Oz.
to rise.
This is the Wizard of Oz.
So, what is going on in the
I'm telling you.
background that we don't know about?
What's going on in this scenario is you are 20 minutes into the Wizard of Oz. They have sent you down a path, the yellow brick road. They have basically said you have to get here to get what you aspire to be. And once you get there, you pull the curtain back, and it's this little old dude that is pulling the levers of what you guys don't understand. And at the end of the movie, everybody's like, "What? There is no real wizard? It's just this cat doing this?"
Yeah, but Eric, I don't think the end of this movie ends well.
Maybe not.
It's George
Maybe
and
not.
Fauci.
Yeah.
Little Anthony Fauci. with him.
Fauci's a Soros guy.
Yeah,
So
there's
from now
so
on,
much crap.
it's a badge. It's just think of it like this: Kim Gardner, you're not a liberal. You're not you're a Sorosist. That's it. You had this weird idea of running your office in this unlawful way. Really, you're not going after these guys, but you're going after these guys. This prosecutor today is not prosecuting a crime. He's prosecuting a person. That's not how the law works, right?
No, it's not. And it wouldn't be happening if it wasn't for the liberals who are in place right now to make this happen.
And you're calling them liberals still.
They are.
I know you're calling them. So there are.
Well, they're liberals paid by
Yeah.
Soros.
Yeah. There's still Manhattan. So here's the deal. A Manhattan.
They call themselves liberals.
Yeah, you're right. A Manhattan liberal is basically a fan of Sorosism.
Well,
Right.
Soros.
Do you understand what I'm
Soros-
saying?
Yeah, I do.
They don't care about the
Marxism-
GM. They do not care about the GM blue collar worker who was a Democrat.
Well, Eric, we've talked about this so many times on the show. The Democrat Party is not what it once was, but the Soros folks and the Marxist folks and the socialist folks, they're all part of the same group.
But the Soros folks are dangerous.
They're all dangerous. Anyone
Soros
who believes in
folks,
Marxism, socialism, takes Soros back funding. They're not only they are very
Yeah.
dangerous, and they're dangerous to us, and we are literally paying the price right now,
And
every
we-
day in this country.
And we don't have to have all the answers right now, but we are intelligent enough to say, we're going to look. We're looking to see what else is happening. Keep your eyes open. Keep your head on a swivel because they know they can't get Trump on anything here, but they're going to go through the circus.
Yeah.
They're going to go through the actions. They know that this is only solidifying Trump for his base. Now, we'll wait and see what happens because there was a poll this morning. It was I consider a middle of the line one. Lizzie, if you find it or somebody finds it, that's great. It did say, and we're fair and honest on this damn show, not like a lot of other shows. We call it how it is, that 61% of independents polled, these were just the ones that were polled, did say that they didn't have an issue with Trump being indicted on what they knew so far.
Okay, you're right.
And then I went,
right.
okay, well, we're fair.
Mhm.
We're not like DC, who jumps on here and just throws a bunch of crap against the wall like the Democrats do.
Mhm.
With that being said, they still know that this is only securing Trump. And they're looking at the polling and they see Trump. Okay.
But they knew that ahead of time.
But see, they don't.
So why are they doing
I don't
it?
know if they did.
Oh, they had to.
So you did it again.
I
You just
didn't
did it
know
again.
Are they really that stupid?
You just did it again.
Not you, them.
Maybe I am that stupid.
You said, why are they doing that? I'm going to tell you why. Ready? Drum roll. Here's why. Because they don't care.
That was the worst drum
It
roll
was all right.
ever. Sound like you crapped yourself.
that was gross.
It was a
I'm standing
paradiddle.
next to him.
Here's the deal.
That's the smell that's been in here, Scotty.
Hold on,
Okay,
my head is going to stop thinking what it's thinking right now. Here's the deal.
God.
So from impeachment number one, so what they're doing is they know they can't get him, but what they're doing is they're throwing sugar into your gas tank. You can't drive until you go get the sugar back out, and it basically impedes you to do your job. This is more sugar in the gas tank. They know he's not going to get busted
They
for
don't,
this.
but Eric,
So here's
but
why.
But they do know
So
that it's
they're
going to rally his base.
No, they don't.
So why? Yes, they do.
It doesn't work.
They would know that.
No.
They have to know that.
No, they know that they.
We've known that from day
Look,
one.
Tabitha, I didn't.
How could
No,
you not?
you're
how,
wrong.
How could you guys not think
Tabitha,
that
maybe
as soon
his
as Trump
supporters
got arrested, people would rally behind him?
No, and when it first
But his
came-
supporters are the majority.
No, because the January 6th thing, right? That definitely killed a lot of soccer moms. I'm sorry to tell you. You think it didn't, and we're all.
I think soccer moms these days are very divided between liberal and conservative. I don't know that that's such a good analogy anymore with soccer moms.
It is.
I'm seeing more and more women supporters for Trump.
There
Believe
are
it or not.
tons
Women for
of
Trump.
women
More and more and
All
more
the
and
time.
more and more.
But you
every
can't
day.
count on them.
Hey, I was
you
with you.
Yes, you can.
What do you mean you
can't.
can't count
They're
on
just
them?
not going to speak
Guys,
out
I'll
as
tell you
much.
this much.
The women are the hardest fighters right
And
now.
I do, but where were they in the last election down in St. Louis? Where
Everywhere.
were they?
Well, in St. Louis City, no. But I mean, they're going to be.
Where were
they're
they in
all
the Joe
over
Biden
St.
election?
They're all over St. Charles County. That's for sure.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I was talking to a liberal friend of mine who's from New York last night. And while he does not like Donald Trump, he does not want Joe Biden in office either.
So would he
Not-
vote for Trump now?
And not Kamala Harris. And he even admitted that Donald Trump is a better president and would be a much better person in office than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. Now, he's not a far progressive left guy. However, look at that. That's a guy to look at that perspective, but he doesn't want support. He doesn't want any of them. So what do you really do? DeSantis is done. It's done. Unless
No.
Trump-
He's not done.
He's done.
No.
Unless Trump goes
Mm-mm.
out, Eric, he has no shot at Donald Trump.
No,
he
here,
does.
hold on.
He
He
does not.
defended Trump
Yeah.
about that.
Well, he has no choice.
No,
now.
here's the deal.
True.
John, here's the deal. Think of it like this. Donald Trump is Brett Favre in his last year in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers is the backup quarterback that is the future of the Green Bay Packers.
I have no idea what any of that.
It doesn't matter. Favre, they were trying to push Favre out. Were they not? Were they not trying to push Favre out of
Yeah,
Green
I
Bay?
see your analogy somewhat.
And
whatever
Favre was
it is,
still
it's
a
wrong.
good quarterback,
Yeah,
right?
he was.
And then all of a sudden they said, sorry, Brett, you got to go. And Aaron came in and did a kick-ass job.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
It's
though.
not going to happen.
But DeSantis has not sat behind Trump long enough yet for that analogy to be there. He hasn't. Not yet.
I think he...
I don't
Aaron
understand the
Rodgers
analogy.
sat behind Favre for 3 effing years.
correct.
In political world, that would be like 12.
In Green Bay, they were getting antsy
So
that this kid was going to leave.
Eric-
didn't
Eric,
they?
you cannot believe that DeSantis legitimately has a shot to beat Donald Trump.
Yes.
He
Oh.
absolutely will not, because you know why, Eric? Because us diehard, I like DeSantis, I really do.
Ugh.
But us diehard Trump supporters, we feel that he was cheated out of his last term and he deserves his shot at another term. And he is the person we know. We already know what he's going to do for this country. We already know. DeSantis is an unknown. We think he'll do good, but maybe he's
Just
a
look-
rhino.
what
We
if-
don't know.
What if
He
DeSantis
has
was
to wait
standing
his
right
turn.
here?
He hasn't.
If he was sitting here,
I would say the
announced
same
he's
thing.
running.
I would
he
say
would
the
win
same
you
thing.
over like that.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. Because it wouldn't matter to me if he's in front of my face. I feel, and I think most.
No, you'd have the
Most
chance to ask him
conservatives feel just
questions.
like me.
You would have the.
I don't need to ask him questions. I already know what Trump did as a president. I already know
What
what
did
he'll
DeSantis do so
do again.
bad?
He didn't do anything bad.
So what's
And
the problem?
He'll have his turn in 2028.
And he's the Aaron Rodgers.
He just needs to wait his turn.
I agree with you.
I would vote for him in 2028 based on
So
what I
you're
know
just
right
pissed
now.
off that he's trying to get in Trump's way.
I think
Anybody that's a close second to Trump, you don't like.
I think that it's an establishment goal to divide the conservative party. And I think there's a lot of, like I said, I don't like the GOP.
It's really working for him, isn't it, Tabitha? It's not working.
It's not working, but
the party is not.
Try.
Yeah, but that's why I said it wasn't a foregone conclusion when this started. If they had intent to disrupt the party,
the establishment
because when they did it,
love it.
Because now what you have is a solidified party for the first time in at least a year. They have solidified the Republicans.
I think they did.
And they're solidified behind Orange Man, Donald Trump.
Now, did they mean to do that?
I don't know.
Ask yourself that question. Did they know that this was going to happen? Because when
who know?
Well, let's start from the beginning. Alvin Bragg, all the way up to Joe Biden, all the way up to. Do you think they knew once this happened?
They have very intelligent people working for them.
I also think that they have code words for all of these things. Operation Get Trump Manhattan or Operation Manhattan is an actual thing that they go in T-minus 10, 9, 8, and they hit the button and they know exactly what's going to happen. I don't think they're oblivious to this.
No, but they're not. But
do you think that they are going, yeah, we're just going to run his ass in here and we're going to make him look really bad? Ha, ha, ha. No, I think they know that this is going to start a circus. It's going to make his poll numbers go up. I think they are.
You're talking about the Democrats know.
Yes,
that's what I've been saying from the beginning is, of course, Democrats know. They're not stupid. So for they have some very good folks working for the Democrat Party. So I'll tell you what, at some point there was a meeting and somebody said, if we indict Trump, that's going to rally his base. It's going to pull people in.
Yeah.
People are going to come out in droves to support him.
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing it anyway because, and that's where the question mark is, because of what?
And I want an answer. You're the smart one on this show.
No,
you play the part of the smart one, so why don't you tell us?
I'll tell you what, there are so many things going on in the world right now. We have bank collapses. We have a housing market getting ready to collapse. We have so many things going on. We have Japan, which we're going to talk about later, buying oil from Russia, showing us that Russia really does have all the power. We have China potentially invading our country from within across the southern border. There are so many things going on right now. The China balloon, now we know to take the military secrets. We have Joe Biden, who we know is sitting in his basement eating ice cream, doesn't have a clue what is going on. There's so many things.
Alan Dershowitz is an attorney who I've respected, and he's been a guy that's been pretty much down the middle. He has. I don't know if you guys know who Alan Dershowitz is.
Yes.
Alan Dershowitz has even said a first-year law student would easily win this case for Donald Trump that Bragg has brought out. If that doesn't tell you what is actually going on, I have no idea. Yeah. So if you see the headlines, if you see the video today, try not to get caught up in it. Most of our listeners and viewers know. There's others who love it and they say they get their popcorn ready and they look at it. And I mean, just look in the mirror. Look in the mirror at yourself if you think this is, number one, good for our country.
It's a tactic that could easily be implemented. This is what I'm worried about.
I'm glad you take us.
This is why I'm worried about all
on
this.
The agenda.
So they start big. What if you are a resident in St. Louis, Missouri, and there's a tactic, and it's basically you don't like the opinion or view of a manager over at BJC or at Washington University or your upper management. They now have this way of attacking and persecuting you as a person via whatever crime they want to try and go after, no matter how small. Even though they might not be able to incarcerate you or even make you guilty, your name is now attached. It's this weird scarlet letter effect, and it's attached, and you're canceled. I'm worried more about that than anything else. Not Trump. I think Trump has 42 lawyers that are going to be able to end this.
I'm
worried about Tabitha getting targeted one day because of maybe they think she's a loudmouth and she's let's take care of this girl. All of a sudden you get fired from whatever you're doing and you just get your bank account is sucked dry.
It's a risk we all take every day.
It is. And that's where the fight starts. And that's why the Drew Collinses of the world, I don't understand. What happens when something comes after you or your family? Is that what you want? Are you seeing this, Drew, in real time? And if this works, God forbid, it is now on the table to do it against everyone in the country.
Correct. I don't know why they don't get that. They don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know where the backstop is. Is the backstop this judge? If this judge comes out today and goes, what the hell are you guys doing? Case dismissed. Bye, Mr. Trump. We're sorry. We'll pay for your gas. Bye. Get out of here. I'll take care of this Alvin Bragg dude. If that happens, I will stand up and applaud. If it doesn't happen, watch out.
It's all just a big nothing to me. It really is.
It's a big
nothing.
something to you.
It's a big nothing. It was great. It was the best thing that could happen to Trump.
So it doesn't worry
Best
you.
thing that could happen to us. Nothing will ever come out of it. Trump raised a lot of good money. He got a lot of good support. That's excellent. Now, what's really going on in this country? Because that's not it.
Okay,
That's not it.
okay, wait a minute, hold on. What if it happens to somebody that's not so big as Trump? What if it's just someone that hey, I got a friend that's working over at this company, and the government now is indicting her on blah blah blah, and she's like, she didn't even do anything. And what if you see it?
But that's just an average person. We already know why they're going after Trump. We already know why they're going after Trump. Think about this. What a big payday this is for CNN.
What if it works? What if it works?
Nothing's going to happen.
What if the new standard in the law becomes guilty until you prove yourself innocent?
It already is, and the scales have tipped long ago. The scales tipped long ago against us. Everything that's happening right now, we all know it's a witch hunt, but it's more than anything, it's just a big distraction.
Okay. Yeah, I give up.
And this whole first hour, because there was so much content with it that we were going through. By the way, coming up 9:00, we're going to talk with Representative Justin Hicks from Missouri, who was race baited last week, became a viral video. We'll talk with him. We'll get his opinion of what's happening here. Also, we'll talk about some of these other things that are going on in our country that could be one of the reasons why China, Russia, they're positioning themselves right now to take over America. And at some point, Tabitha says we're in a war. What does that mean? Those things, it's happening.
I don't think we're in a war. I think we're in a capitulation.
Well, we are for sure in a proxy war. In a proxy war.
And Americans aren't paying attention as a whole. If there was any polling done, maybe 10% of Americans would have any clue as to what's going on. The dollar is being destroyed by the second. It is. The dollar is done. It is done. It is done. It is done. Eric?
Oh, but it is.
Eric, it's done. Anybody with half a brain that can look at it's done, man. Our 80s life is over as much as we want it.
Well, let's not go nuts.
Well, we're not going back there anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 80.
Unfortunately.
I'm be opening 80s Island. It'll be right off the coast of Maine.
I will go with you.
We may get a couple years out of that.
Okay. It'll be jukebox.
We're going strong to the end.
Mm-hmm.
There's
the love boat will take you there, I guess.
They'll have Pop-Tarts and toaster strudel.
We need a hot tub time machine.
But another massive issue.
Just a hot tub would be okay.
Guys, that's coming up.
Kevin, where's Kevin?
Guess what's also happening, guys, in the midst of all this Trump stuff that's going on? Gas prices are on average right now are about $3.51 across the country.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, they're going
back up. But guess what? But now Saudi Arabia has announced they're not going to be Saudi Arabia, who, by the way, is now friends with Russia, China, and BRICS. They're not going to be producing as much oil. Oh, guess what that does? That means our gas goes sky high unless Joe Biden and the puppeteers start releasing more of our reserves, which we have already done before. Depleting further sources that we have, because we know we're not drilling either, and we're not going into our wealth of oil that we've been told that is underneath our soil all across this country. So guess what? It's going to be another massive deal, but we're not talking about that.
Of course we're not.
We're talking about Trump, Orange Man in court, so that nobody's paying attention.
We should be talking about Trump, Orange Man. If he were president right now, guess what would be happening? We would be drilling. We would be drilling for oil, and we're not drilling for oil. We need to be drilling for oil. It's not a fossil fuel. It's not a limited to supply. We have endless amounts of oil. This is all just a big sham like everything else.
And if that wasn't enough, it's also a voting day. We're going to talk about that in regards to how important it is right now to vote on every issue. As Eric was just saying, if the law or DAs can use law weaponized against the president, why can't they use it against you? This could go all the way down into parents going in to try to voice their opinions at school board meetings.
Oh yeah, that's brutal.
I mean, we already saw this happen when parents were targeted in some cases by the FBI.
Yeah.
These are all massive, major issues that people need to take serious.
Yeah. It's kind of this weird sideline law. Here's the deal: you're never going to get around the you have freedom of speech thing. It's ingrained. It's like the concrete of their Constitution. But it's kind of like when I freaked out back when I was in high school and I found out that they didn't get Capone on the murders. They got Capone on tax evasion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tax fraud.
It's like, you know what? We don't have any proof. Hey, where's the IRS? Yeah, go get him and put him in Alcatraz, would you? And they did it. And I freaked out. I was a senior in high school when I learned about that. I go, I can't believe the government had the ability to do that. They can't get you for this, but this is what's happening right now. I can't get you to shut up, Trump, and not run for president. Let's see if we can get you in Manhattan. I didn't get you in Manhattan. Let's see if we can go to Georgia.
Well,
Georgia didn't work.
Well,
Damn.
ironically, the strongest of any of the future cases that are going to be brought against Trump until the election and through the election, until that man leaves this earth or breathes his last breath, there will be attacks. It's almost like he was anointed to do this. I know that sounds crazy, and
he's been attacked from day one.
Because there is nobody in the history of this country, no politician who has been attacked, and with any good reason or with any results coming out of it than this man.
But here's the deal.
And here he stands again.
This is where it gets a little bit scary. Where are the Republicans?
They're everywhere.
What do you mean? Where are
Eric, they're all over the place.
Are they really?
Hell,
yes. I haven't seen a Mitch McConnell anywhere. Have you seen Mitch?
It's Mitch McConnell.
He's
But
trying
he's
to
not
a Republican.
He's fighting for his
Republican.
life right now.
Oh, good.
Your friend Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to New York, and she's going to be protesting.
She was on 60 Minutes.
Her and her hate speech.
She's going to be protesting.
I know. But where's every Republican?
Eric, they're jumping.
Working.
They're all over the place.
I'll take your word for it. I haven't seen
Ted
him.
Cruz was jumping. Ron DeSantis, his arch enemy. Donald Trump has been ripping DeSantis, and DeSantis is right there having his back.
As a matter of fact, the people I see are the Dershowitz, the
Mm-hmm.
guys that don't like Trump at all that are sticking up for him. That's the weirdest thing.
If you look, Eric, they're all
overwhelmingly.
The
Everyone
Republican.
is.
That's why we said the party has now been galvanized by freaking this whole situation.
And I'm curious, where are you looking for the information? I mean,
there we go.
Because you're not seeing it.
No.
So I'm just curious where you're looking and not seeing it, or are you just not looking?
Because I don't.
And you're just not.
I don't
hearing
go
it.
to media outlets to see anything. I just go to kind of rummage and see what's going on. And in that rummaging, I just don't see anybody of substantial nature.
The biggest names are sticking up for him, which I thought was great.
I mean, I would like to see a Nikki Haley get in there and go, this is
That'll
Nikki
never
Haley.
happen.
No,
She hates him.
No,
Did she
Nikki,
stand up for
time
him?
out. Nikki Haley stood up for Donald Trump
Really?
yesterday.
Wow, I did not
What'd she
know
say?
that.
I watched how it's a
Good.
sham. It's a fake. All of
Good.
this
I'm
is a
glad to
fake.
hear it.
Everyone, Mike Pence, they're all
I saw
coming-
that. Yeah.
The party is now solidified because of this. They are coming full circle.
good. Then I stand corrected.
And it blew my mind. It blew my mind.
Probably more together than they've been ever with
Yeah.
Donald Trump.
I'd like to
of
see every
course.
governor in the United States stand up and go, this is not how we do justice.
Eric, somebody wants to know, is that because you've been watching local news and CNN again?
I have been watching. Look, you know what? I have to watch my local news here in St. Louis. I just have to. KMOX doesn't count anymore. They don't even do local. So I have
local
to.
news is fine. It's just they don't get the national. They don't understand national stories.
Yeah. I know.
And I used to complain to me about that. I'm like, Eric, we don't have the resources to cover.
But resources doesn't mean you can't take 5 minutes to the side and opine on something.
Because you take what national gives you.
You know what, Eric and everybody, what people are saying on the feed is something I hadn't really thought about. Think of the week.
Mhm.
Now, I'm not comparing Trump to Jesus. I'm not.
Mhm.
But like what Tabitha said earlier, he's kind of being martyred. And this is happening Holy
Yeah.
Week. And I do truly believe that this is a time for Trump to shine. And
Yeah.
I do think he was ordained by God. And
Well,
this kind
that's
of
what I
proves
said.
it
I
this
said
week.
that was almost as if he was ordained.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
In some
absolutely.
sort of senses where it's weird.
I think we have to be careful using those terms.
Exactly. And I said I
Yes,
didn't
he's
want to
not
go.
Jesus.
I didn't want to go over the top, but
He's
So-
a man,
but
like
there's
any
a
other
lot
I
of-
man.
said it's interesting. This guy.
I
this
don't think
guy
that's unfair. I
who
think
has
there's
dealt with more, and it will continue. And he's doing it on his own accord.
I don't think it's
He's
unfair.
doing it because he wants to, not because he has to or he needs to.
Well, you know why he's doing this? Back in 2000, when I met Trump,
Mm.
it was because he was thinking about running for president. I mean, think about that. Back in the year 2000, look how long
Wow,
ago that
yeah.
was. And back then, he wanted to be president of this country because he saw the direction we were going in. He knew what was happening. He, as a business person, in New York City
Yeah.
saw what was happening to him and people in this country. And he said, I am going to stand up and I'm going to do something about it. And then he changed his mind and he didn't run.
No, but
even
we
after I
got to
gave him his
take.
button.
Hey, we got a guest. We're going to take a quick break. We'll continue to talk Trump in the next hour, but we're going to come back with Justin Hicks, representative from Missouri, who was race baited last week. We'll ask him what he thinks about this whole fiasco going on. He's an attorney as well. See what's happening. If there's been any fallout, he became a viral story. The video went national. He was on Fox and Friends yesterday as well. We'll talk to Justin. We'll break into the situation. Japan now buying oil from Russia, breaking away from the allies, and the United States is allowing it. Are you freaking kidding me? Russia and China together again. And more NHL teams, starting with the St. Louis Blues now, are saying, no, we're not going to wear Pride jerseys on Pride nights anymore for warm-ups for the hockey games. And all it took were a couple players to say, you know what, it's against our faith. Go do your celebration, but we don't want to wear the jersey.
Yeah, Kid Rock's not too happy about the Budweiser thing either.
And we showed that as well already. Maybe we'll show him doing that again. And the oil is being depleted. You can't make everything that's going on right now.
Crazy.
2-minute break. We'll be right back with Justin Hicks after this. This is cancelthisshow.com.
Have you ever heard of a use tax? Well, it's just another name for sales tax that may be paid on a purchase from Amazon or any out-of-state seller. Until recently, out-of-state sellers didn't have to collect the same tax as our local stores. But recently, the Missouri legislature voted to give our state its portion. Now Chesterfield voters must approve the law to get our city portion. Vote yes on Prop U to support our local stores and help our city pay for police, parks, and streets. Paid for by Citizens for Chesterfield's Future, Gerald Wright, Treasurer.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Mahesh Bhagway. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in St. Louis for over the last 20 years. I went to Washington University. I got my medical degree at St. Louis University. From local high school athletes, college athletes, weekend warriors, injured workers, and even Cardinal baseball players, I've treated them all. Our practice strives to personalize care with every new patient being seen by me. To find me, contact my staff at drbagwe.com. That's DRBAGWE.com. Hopefully you don't need me, but if you do, you can find me now.
White Glove Exotic Services is St. Louis's first concierge vehicle service center. Alex David's team is passionate, certified technicians. They have industry-leading tools and equipment. They do it all. They pick up and deliver your car, hands-free. Plus, they have elite detailing service, customized PPF wraps and tinting, and inspection and titling assistance. White Glove also specializes in logistics and storing options, vehicle listings, and consignment. White Glove Exotic Services. Check them out at cancelthisshow.com.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Hey guys, welcome back into the show. It's cancelthisshow.com. Here live Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, but all the time, all of our original content on our website at cancelthisshow.com. Scotty Gherkin here on the boards, Lizzie Sparks running the social media, in studio, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel, and I'm Vic Faust. Appreciate you jumping in again with us on this April 4th. Lots of Donald Trump talking on with all of the show, the theater that's going on. We get away from that for just a second as we talk with our friend Justin Hicks. He is a Missouri state representative. He went viral last week because of one of his cohorts at the Missouri Capitol, a Democratic woman attacking him. Justin, welcome into cancelthisshow.com. First time here. Your backdrop looks fantastic.
Thank you very much. It's in my office here in the Capitol. So,
but I got a problem with you. I got a problem with you, Justin. I'm sorry. I got a problem with you. I've got a serious problem with you. How dare you grow up as a privileged biracial man
gosh.
over in Missouri,
No.
the son of a single mom, What is your race? Blah, blah, blah. Does that sound familiar for our listeners who don't know?
That sounds familiar. Last time I checked, I'm not sure what mansions are in Overland, Missouri. So.
It's a one.
How dare you privileged
It's a ranch
representative?
with two bedrooms.
And they handed you your law certificate, right? They just gave the bar to you.
Justin was verbally attacked by a African American Democratic representative from the city of St. Louis because she wasn't happy how Justin was voting on a bill and sticking up for a bill last week. Justin, if you could set the stage again and remind everybody what happened, because this video did go viral, and of course, people are now talking to you all across the country.
Yeah. So what happened last Thursday, we were actually voting on the budget last week, and there was legislation in the budget that explicitly excluded DEI being a factor when we're looking to fund different things like staffing or vendors in the state. So it's essentially saying that state dollars can't be used to fund DEI programs, which would make common sense by itself, because why would you want at the state level to give preferential treatment to one group or another based on sex, religion, or even race by itself? And I stood up and spoke up about it because the Democrats on the floor were getting it was very vulgar. There was words used on the floor that should never be used in the Missouri House that the Democrats decided to use. There was a bunch of language such as, calling me a token, different things like that on the floor. Just things that are very, very unprofessional, things that should not be used on the Missouri floor. We're held to a higher standard, and we're supposed to be held to that standard. And obviously the Democrats kind of lost it last week there. And so, like I said, I stood up and spoke out about it. And then my colleague decided to inquire of me on the floor and ask me questions about my race and how I identified, and calling me a privileged, and essentially trying to downplay the situation altogether.
You should have said immediately, you know what, lady? You're privileged as well. You live in Missouri. You have every opportunity that I have. As a matter of fact, the last time I checked, you're an elected official. You're privileged as well.
Democrats can't be considered privileged.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Lizzie, can you send the video to Scotty again if he doesn't?
He has them.
Can we play the video again?
Yeah, absolutely. I got 3 of them, so I'm not sure what order they are again. They're not really labeled that way, but I could just go ahead and run through them real quick.
I wanted Justin to explain it before we played it. Now you get the full context.
Equality for all, which I believe that America does. And that's how I got elected into my position. I didn't get elected into my position because of the color of my skin or doing any race baiting stuff that it seems like you're promoting here.
Oh, I'm promoting race baiting? I'm promoting race baiting? No, I think you're promoting privilege, tokenism.
I didn't come from a privileged background.
Oh, really?
I grew up in St. Louis County where my mother
Where did you grow up at? Tell me that.
In Overland is where I grew up. In Overland. Wasn't a privileged family at all. My father passed when I was 12. My mom raised me and 2 of my other brothers. She was lower income. I had to work my butt off to get where I am today.
Shame on you.
Lady, your time has expired.
Damn.
Want me to play the next one?
Please.
I wonder, what did it take for you, sir, to get elected out of St. Charles to sit in your seat? I want to hear that story.
Yeah, I had to work on my own merit and pretty much promote the principles I believe in, which is freedom, equality for all, which I believe that America does. And that's how I got elected into my position. I didn't get elected into my position because of the color of my skin or doing any race baiting stuff that it seems like you're promoting here.
Damn!
One more, and I think this one kind of overlaps one of the ones we played before, but there's some more info.
This woman is just...
Can I ask you what you identify as?
Identify?
Ethnicity?
I identify as an American.
Not an African American? Or are you African American?
Ladies and gentlemen, I will remind the body to remain poised with decorum. There will be no celebrations.
The guy
Wait.
I did see that
So
guy.
the speaker says decorum. He uses the word decorum. Where is the decorum of one representative berating another representative?
We did lose Justin.
Okay,
Justin.
We'll get him back. We'll get him back. But where is what is the decorum? What is the protocol? So if Vic and I were on the House floor and I was representing something and he was representing, can I just come on the floor and just slam you?
No, he came up.
I thought that wasn't even allowed.
No, he had a choice to come up to the mic, and he did. And he'll explain it in just a second. We wanted to show you that video. I mean, she attacked him. She presents herself as an uneducated, bigoted, racist woman who attacks without having any information and just assumes. And Justin put her in her place.
Yes,
like
he
she's
did.
probably she needed that attitude adjustment. She needed to be put in her place because that woman has no place.
Oh, no, there was no adjustment
whatsoever. Oh, she did. Now she should have been censured in my opinion. But at the same point in time, that's what Justin had to deal with. But Justin, despite being provoked, he was fantastic. And then he'll be able to use it, and he's going places. She clearly is not.
They should have never allowed this woman to speak. They should have shut her up. This type of hate speech and what she was saying.
Thank you.
It was hate
It's
speech.
hate speech.
Lizzie,
And she had no right to say what she was saying.
We got Justin back. Justin, I'm sorry. Hey, I was asking a question. What is the official decorum on the floor? Are you allowed as a representative to bash another representative on mic when your time is up? Can you do that?
No, it's not part of the decorum on the floor, that's what kind of set me back on there, that those words like that were used. You're not supposed to attack another representative personally on the floor. To attack a policy all you want, but to attack an individual is a different story on the floor.
So why did the speaker not say gavel that down and go, you need to stop and turn off her mic? Why did that not happen?
So there was multiple gavels throughout this whole issue. The issue that we have altogether is that the Democrats try to, if we do anything on the floor like that, they're always trying to call things like racism, just those kind of things. So it's a pick and choosing on what we gavel down on the floor, and just to ensure that they are getting their appropriate time as well to talk, because we want to make sure that they are being fairly treated as well on the floor.
Tabitha wanted to ask you a question, but before she does, what is that representative's name?
It's Marlene Terry.
Okay, thank you.
I will never forget that name. Justin, I'm curious, how did you feel emotionally standing there amongst your peers, people who support you, and hearing this woman talk to you in such a horrific way? Didn't you feel like in America, we're past this? You've worked so hard to get where you are. You did not deserve this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so honestly, inside I was a little bit saddened that we were even talking about the issue. I was walking throughout the chamber throughout it, just kind of listening to what the Democrats were saying all together, and it just kind of saddened me that we're talking about an issue that isn't an issue in American society today. We all have the same rights, and I think what Marlene Terry was doing was that she was conflating the idea of equality and equal outcome. There's a big difference between the two altogether. We all have equality here in this country and stuff, but the American dream doesn't mean that we all get the same outcome.
Exactly. She's playing. There's nothing worse.
If this would have been reversed, they'd be calling for resignation of that. You know what I mean? Like
there's no
be
question
all
about
over
it.
Because there's
No
nothing
question.
worse than a person like this and DC who joins our line, who plays victim 24/7. Wah, wah, wah.
But that's their playbook.
Let's play the victim
That's the
card.
playbook.
And she thought she was going to get Justin because Justin presents himself in an educated way.
Well,
He does not.
Yeah.
Justin's a fine, upstanding man who happens to be
No,
conservative.
he shouldn't even have to deal with
And,
that.
and the most
made the
intelligent
assumption.
person there for
He
that matter.
literally
An attorney.
made the right vote. This was a slam dunk.
Yeah.
This was a layup. This was not something that needed to be
Gordon
debated.
says she's a Cancer, and
Yes, she is.
Well, Gordon would know. Gordon knows everybody in the state of Missouri. He really does.
Now, why are we calling for her to be removed?
she
'Cause
is
God
such.
knows
She's
if it was
a
anyone
racist,
else.
and she is lost and needs help. And hopefully, Justin's education helped her.
I know. I think
I'm hoping the conversation kind of set her straight in the path. And like I said, it's sad that like she believes that and especially in this day and age in America, because she even mentioned on the floor that she kept talking about her daughter and how her daughter has a master's degree and everything like that. I was like, right there by itself is showing me that we have progress in this country.
it's a little privilege.
Yes.
So it's like, it's very confusing to me that she was contradicting herself in that manner. It's saying, you're saying that, okay, your daughter's worked to get a master's degree. That's great. I'm proud of your daughter. She's moved up in society just like I have, and many other people of color, national origin, or any type of creed have in this country. It's because of the freedoms that we're allowed here, and it's the equality that we have. And it's very shameful that she can't see that there by itself. And I hope that she does. I don't wish ill on any of my colleagues at all and everything. I just hope that, that dialogue that we have, that, it helped her to be educated in the issue and help her moving forward in a different light.
Yeah, that's true.
It won't.
I think we know who's really privileged after that conversation.
But it's their
It might
playbook,
be
Vic.
her.
It's their playbook. And let me ask you this. So when you walk out of the chamber, and I'm sure she's not the only Democrat there in that chamber, are other Democrats walking up to you and go, man, I'm sorry that was ridiculous?
Yeah.
What's the flavor of that?
There were some Democrats that came up to me and said, I'm sorry that that dialogue happened on the floor. That was unprofessional. And I think that's the right thing to do, because I don't think anybody in that chamber outside of maybe her and a few other people, thought that was appropriate.
Were any of them black, Justin?
Yeah.
Were any of the ones that apologized to you, Justin? What color were they?
I had a few people that were of African American descent come to me. A few people that are of other nationality, ethnicities as well, come to me as well. So there was a few. It was a mixture of them.
Did she come up to you?
No, she never approached me. She still has not approached me.
Wow.
And she won't, Justin.
Yeah.
People like her, she'll never learn her lesson. This is the hatred that's in her mind.
It's in
and
her
the
heart.
hatred that's in her heart.
Yeah.
That's right, Eric. And she will never change her mind. She was always going to see you that way. And it's so unfortunate that people like her exist.
Well, Aaron from the chat line says she's a prime example of the average voter in North County and St. Louis City, which is why those areas are rotting. That's what Aaron said.
And I would definitely agree with that. Part of changing is your mindset. And obviously she's not willing to change her mindset and look past these issues here and to literally go after the one thing that you are claiming to try to promote, which is, in her opinion, that there is inequality, which, like I said, there is, but, and to go after me in the way that she went after me, and like that just shows to me that it's more of, if you don't agree with me, then you're my enemy. And that's not the way to view this here. We can all have difference of opinions and so like that. That's why we're here in the House, is so we all can have different opinions and come together under one opinion that actually works. And it just doesn't mean to work with people or even have a real dialogue with me about it. She really just wanted to berate me with, questions that had nothing to do with the real topic at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Justin, you handled yourself in a way that's more mature than most of us would have, and congratulations to you. Your mom clearly did an incredible job raising you in that privileged lifestyle, that $1 million in Overland, and it shows.
Coffee almost came out my nose.
It shows that all that money you had and that privileged upbringing really paid off in that moment.
and I know his mom personally, and she is a class act.
Nothing wrong with Overland. Charlotte Pub
she
rocks.
is a class act. She's a doll.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful Christian woman.
Yeah, good, man. We're proud of you, dude, and everybody on the chat line is completely proud of you. Keep it up for St. Charles. We're gonna need people like you to keep St. Charles cool, and you know what? Don't listen to that garbage. Just keep voting the right way.
Yeah. Any more national shows you doing? I know you did Fox and Friends yesterday.
Yeah.
No, just Fox and Friends, and then I was at an article on the Daily Wire as well regarding the issue, and maybe a few interviews here later on as well.
Nice.
All right, Justin. Hey, thanks for taking some time today. Now go to work.
Yeah.
Will do.
Tell the Gov we said hi.
Tell Marlene we said hi.
Hi, Marlene. Hi, Marlene.
See you, Justin. Thanks again.
All right, I'll see you. You guys take care.
Okay,
Hi,
thank you.
Justin.
Yeah, I promise you the governor knows who Justin Hicks is.
No
Right?
question.
As well
I
he
promise you
should.
that.
As well he should.
Yeah, Jamie says we need more Justins. Yeah, we do. I mean, yeah at such a younger age.
But did you-
so
you know
well
what-
spoken and educated. I'm learning lessons from him.
What I loved about it was just so matter of fact. He was just calm, cool, collected. He's like, well, actually, no, I didn't.
Composed.
Yes, composed.
It's like, you're not going to rile me up. Like
That's what I love most about it. Whereas a lot of my friends would be like jumping over those tables to beat some ass.
But that's on, but that's on the
That's why I could
outside.
never run for office, because I wouldn't make it. I'm done. Day one, I'd be like, look here, you son of a...
That's why I asked him how he felt on the inside, because we saw the composure he held on the outside, but emotionally, how did that affect him on the inside? He has worked so hard to get where he is, and he has overcome so much.
But see, that was
to get where he
that
is.
lady,
And that lady just tried to destroy
So that
it
lady
all.
is a product.
Ethnicity.
That lady is a product of the reparations mentality. Okay. She's a product, and she comes from the old school of when I think Michigan was the first when you can get into college. It's I can't remember with the quota system getting into college. What is that called? Anyway, she's what is it called? Come on, man, help me out here. Somebody on the chat line. But it's like the diversity, the equity. Now it's become like they said, it's equity that everybody has a participation trophy. There's not winners, there's not losers. These are the laws that they're writing in our houses, in our senates, in our national, local, whatever, that she's a part of that mentality. We need to bring our communities up to where you're at, and this law doesn't allow that. This law says we're all equal. You want to succeed in this place? Go do it.
Well,
but we're not going to help you out.
Yeah. And she attacked him personally. And that's just it's a low move. It shouldn't have happened. People should be calling for her to be removed.
No.
And no one is.
No one will.
Is.
Yeah,
and no one will. And and we all know if this were reversed, what would happen? If anybody else other than a black woman would have brought up race, they would have been removed. They would be tarnished. They would never be back.
But Tabitha, we live in an era where the criminals are allowed to throw bricks through buildings and not get prosecuted.
Oh, I know. And if you're a Democrat.
And that goes into
only if you're a Democrat.
And that mentality goes into these places as well. You can go into the Capitol in Tennessee and say that, that like the transgender LGBTQ people protested. That's not January 6th, because it's not that you don't have no MAGA hats on. See
Eric,
what I mean?
think
It's
about
completely we're in reverse world.
If Democrats didn't commit crime, we would live in the safest country in the world. 99% of our crime in this country is committed by Democrats.
How do you really?
Yes.
99%?
I would like to see that.
St. Louis, let's use St. Louis City as an example. If we took away black on black crime, St. Louis City would be one of the safest cities in the entire country.
And I saw that somewhere too.
And this is not a racist situation.
No, I hate that you always have to say that.
But it's not. It's a fact.
It's like
not a racist situation.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about across the country black Democrats. I'm talking about Democrats in general are
Yes.
responsible
I don't
for the
know. I don't-
majority of crime.
I think there's a ton of blue collar GM guys that are in their 60s that aren't committing crimes.
Okay, let's go back to violent crime.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about
Violent crime.
I'm talking about violent
And that's
crime.
our grandparents,
Violent crime.
Democrats. They're
That's what I'm
different
talking
than
about.
today's liberals.
Yeah.
They are totally
If
different.
you were to talk to my grandma, if she was still alive, she was a Democrat. She was a Southern Democrat, and you talk to her about, hey, let me tell you what this George Soros guy is doing. She would flip out. She'd be like, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, Grandma, that's basically who's getting elected these days in these urban areas." She would be beside herself.
Well, look at Antifa. Antifa is the majority, predominantly white. And look at the havoc they're causing across this country. Look at all the deaths, literally, that have been attributed to Antifa. There's, I don't know, close to 100 at this point. Innocent people they have attacked. I mean, the buildings they have burned down, arson, and the people who died in them during these protests. It's not about race. It's about the fact that the Democrat side of this country is very violent.
Well, here's the only thing, and I'll say this right to Drew. Drew, unfortunately, my friend, the only racist conversation in this country right now, and I'll say it in the soft voice for you, Drew, is Democrat v. Republican. Democrats can use racism and attack you with a racist comment. I mean, I've never heard anyone being called a token on the floor of anything without being censored and drug out with handcuffs.
And it was
on.
worse.
And it was
actually called.
yeah. So Drew, you're the only. I don't know what you're talking about on this thing. I've never heard a white guy talk to a black woman on the House floor, going, "Hey, token."
Because you can't.
I've never heard that
You
before.
can't.
This is so Drew. You're wrong, dog. And I like you.
Just stop talking to him.
I'm not going to stop talking to him.
Squirrel,
You
you
guys
brought
stop
his
talking
name-
to him all you want. That's
No, but he gets too much attention. I call him DC.
well, everybody knows who DC is. Then what are you going to talk?
if
talk
I
to him next?
even bring him up, because he knows that what he's saying is a
He's
bunch of crap.
clueless.
Poor Drew
But he's the mentality
but
of
Drew
the.
sits home and
he's
eats
the-
ice cream
hold
like
on.
Joe Biden.
He's the mentality of the minority.
He's in a fetal position.
and I don't
He's
mean
the
black
only one you have on this chat line who is the foil to what we're talking about on this show. So if you have one person,
No, just one that comes out, and that's all. But people,
what I'm
the
saying?
majority of the listeners and viewers,
yes.
they don't want us to keep bringing him up.
Well,
they tell us all the time.
I'm sorry. I'll be the only one on this show that brings him up then, because I would like for one day, because it's his. Drew shows his true colors, and it's funny to me, and I don't take him seriously, so don't think that I do. But it's kind of like he's the guy. He's the mentality that you guys keep talking about. He's the culture that you guys keep fighting against, and you have one of them on this chat line, right?
Yeah.
I wish we had.
see what I'm saying?
I wish we had more, but they don't want to talk to
He's
us.
just a pot stirrer. That's all he is.
I don't know.
I
think he
that's all
actually believes
is.
this crap.
This is cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate everybody joining us every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, of course, all the time at cancelthisshow.com. Also, the Trump situation going on today, 2:15 Eastern time is when the arraignment is supposed to take place, which would be 1:15 our time then. 1:15, yeah, Eastern
That's
time,
correct.
2:15. So he's already in. Well, he'll be in court in about an hour. Just over an hour. He'll be in court. So, as this show starts to end, then you'll see the fiasco all over the place. There'll
Seems
be no
kind of
video.
light down there in New York right now.
Who does?
It seems a little light. I just went.
Oh yeah, there's no video today.
Yeah.
There'll be 5 pool photographers being able to get some pictures, throwing it out to you. Pictures, photos, still pics, not any video. You're not getting a mug shot. You're not getting a handcuff shot. This is all just a big drama fiasco.
It's a nothing burger.
We'll see where it goes today. If anything happens, if any fake actors are out there trying to generate some sort of
There will be.
like being arrested, supporting Trump, and vice versa. Of course, all you have to do is look at people's faces as well if they're on camera.
Oh, we'll know. We'll know.
And
So
then you
will
see
we?
if-
Will we know the entire indictment today? Is that
Yes.
so
Oh, yes.
we'll
We're
know
supposed
everything.
to.
Okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
We'll know everything.
Gotcha. So what's the gag order? that you can't-
34.
I don't know that they did put the gag on her.
I haven't seen the gag order
yeah,
put
I
on
don't
yet.
think
Okay.
so.
I don't think they have.
Trump is hosting a press conference tonight, 8:15 Eastern time, in front of 500 people in Mar-a-Lago.
What? And I didn't get an invite. Did you get an invite?
No, I didn't.
I didn't get an invite either.
I'm heading out here in a few minutes.
Okay.
Scotty did. Scotty got an invite.
I got exclusive coverage.
Yeah, I
You
know.
got the second
I'm
row.
kind of
first
busy,
seat.
Eric.
We could have been there today. We would have pre-planned.
I know,
So
wouldn't have been-
anyway,
that would have been great.
so that's going down later today. Just giving everybody's updates. We'll see where it goes. We'll be following it. Have to keep up and let you know what happens tomorrow if anything else is going on from that standpoint. But as this is going on, we have some other major issues that are happening around the world. When Lizzie and Tabitha are both on the same page and sending me like, what? Why is Japan buying oil from Russia? What the hell? What's
people
going on?
are continuing to buy oil from Russia. That's not unusual. What's unusual here is that they paid whenever Russia invaded Ukraine. First, the United States like, oh, nobody buy oil from Russia. That's not going to happen because we stopped drilling oil. They have to buy oil from Russia. But what happened is they put a cap on the price of oil because they don't want Russia to make a lot of money from oil. So they put a price cap on it. Well, Japan went ahead now with the agreement of the United States. They went ahead and they bought oil from Russia and they paid above the cap price that we set. And that's why it's a big deal. But the bigger deal to me is the fact that that goes to show the reliance under the Biden administration that we have for Russia. People right now with the United States not drilling for oil, because, on day one, that's the first thing Biden did. He shut down the drilling, the oil leases on day one. He shut down the pipeline that was in the works that was being constructed on day one. And now all of a sudden people are forced to buy oil from Russia.
He lied. He said,
he lied.
We're going to bring Russia to their knees in his press conference.
We're making them stronger.
He's a flat out idiot liar. He didn't do that. Russia and the ruble became more strong because of the quote sanctions that the Biden administration put on. Once again, another reason why this is the worst administration in the history of our country.
We are making Russia stronger every day. We are forcing other countries, our allies, to buy oil from Russia. We could be selling oil to these countries. We could be selling oil to Japan.
Biden is in bed with Russia, China, and the rest of the BRICS nations. You can't make this stuff up.
You really, you're so right, Vic.
And
You can't make it up.
You guys are getting that BRICS word in everything now. It's being branded. It's a thing now.
Well, it's been a thing for a long time.
It's not this little hidden thing under Tabitha Hassel's pillow
Not anymore.
It's crazy.
No, not anymore.
It's a thing now. There's this thing called the dollar, and now you have this thing called the BRICS. What is it going to be called? What is the name of the currency that they're thinking about?
There's a lot of options. I mean, it'll never be the ruble. But here's what, I think there's
All
30
reports show they're working on it right now, Eric.
There's 30 something companies or countries who have broken away from using the dollar. 36 countries. That's never happened before. There are 36 countries right now who have said, we don't need your United States dollar. We don't need the euro. We're going to start trading in other currency. And a lot of times it's their own currency. And if it ever becomes a new world currency, it's probably not going to be the ruble. It would be the yuan.
Yeah, it would be the yuan. And the yuan's already getting stronger too by the second.
Yes,
and it's going to be big. And it's unfortunate because of all the things we've talked about with China. Now, when we talk about the gas situation, we mentioned it a bit earlier. Don't look now, because I know we have to look at New York and look at fake Trump charges and all these other things that Americans want to look at. We have some serious issues here. Word came out last week that Biden and his administration are going to release more of our reserve oil. What? They're going to do that because Saudi Arabia now says that they're not going to produce as much oil.
They don't have
this
much
year.
left.
They're not going to produce it. So guess what? Prices right now at $3.51, which I said earlier, it could go up massively just in time for summer.
Yeah, it'll be $5.
It'll
be $4.99.
It's already going. It's already being predicted to go up that high. And then
none of this has to happen.
And the only way you can do it is go to our reserves. And it doesn't have to happen. But once again, we weren't dealing with this crap when Trump was president.
That's right.
Which is now, why deep state and left will attack him at every turn.
Have you seen the chart with the reserves, what we used to have and what we have now? Have you seen that chart?
I knew it looked like
it's very low.
Opposite.
It's very
low. It looked like a black diamond at Aspen, Colorado.
But there's no reason for this.
It's like a mountainous ravine of nothingness.
By the way, somebody earlier said that you need to come out with your book of analogies, Eric.
That would be great.
Yeah, it would sell one copy.
I think could sell a lot of copies.
Yeah, but no, that's how my brain works. I'm so stupid. I need like a parable to try to figure things out.
It sounds like a lot. But to put this in perspective, Jay did, and I saw this. Jay's OPEC cut 1.5 million barrels per day, and that, I mean.
Well, we ended literally on day one, all of the oil leases and all of the drilling. And remember when during the debates, Trump and Biden argued over that? Remember when Biden said, I will not stop. I will not stop fracking. I will not stop drilling, blah, blah, blah. And that's the very first thing he did.
Well, here's the other problem you have right now, too. As recent as 3 weeks ago, Biden was saying, well, I've offered them. They can go drill right now. That is not true.
Not true.
And what they've done is there are so many regulations that have been put on everything. It's impossible to. He made it as impossible to start drilling as you possibly can. But then his handlers are telling him, well, we've done this. Go tell people they can go out and do it. And the poor man.
It's not true. They stopped the construction on the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. I mean, this is all just a big sham, and it's all just to drag our country down further. All of the banking collapse, all of the housing market collapse that's going to happen, everything is tied directly to the Biden administration, tied directly to them. You cannot think for 1 minute there's not intent behind that they didn't plan
Are you sure?
to destroy our country. Well, they sure aren't doing it by accident. They are doing it with malicious intent.
I always see these things about like I'm not opposed to like leaving the oil in the ground so that we don't put some carbon in the air and blah, 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 this, that, and the other. I'm not opposed to if we had a fusion generator that you could put in your car, like the flux capacitor or whatever the hell they had in Back to the Future, whatever it is. I'm not opposed to that. What I'm opposed to is a CEO of this country, Biden and his cronies, not having that technology available to them yet. And they think that the old technology of these renewables is going to get us there. And it's not. It shows complete incompetence. Biden can come out behind a podium if he wanted to, but this speaks to where he's really going and say, we are going to get there. And these companies are going to be rich doing it. Right now, we're not there. Texas is kicking ass on drilling. We're putting the reserves back together. Hey, Russia, screw you. And then,
well, that would be Trump, not Biden.
Well, no, I'm saying anyone. Just take out the face for now and say there is literally a right and a wrong way to run this country right now, and we're seeing the wrong way. Okay?
And Eric, they're doing it on purpose because any one of us in this room,
Eric, it's part.
Any one
it
of
is
us.
purposeful. I get you, but why?
It's on purpose.
Okay,
it's on purpose.
Eric, I think it's another factor. And all part of the bigger
that's
picture.
Right.
Plandemic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Part of the bigger plandemic, Eric, to destroy this country from within without firing any bullets. And the one way that you will completely destroy this country is financially. That's the first thing. And then when we're freaking out, and I try to imagine going to your bank, and I know this may sound crazy, and it's closed. Tabitha talked about this in the past. It's closed. You don't have any money.
And you won't have a bailout like SVB because that's not going to happen to any other bank.
What do you mean it's closed?
And the dollar was worth so much at this one point in time, Eric, and then all of a sudden, your dollar, which you thought you had all of this money, is now worth pennies on the dollar.
So, if anything, we might be burning it for fuel in our fireplace
so here's
like
my
they do
question,
in Venezuela.
Here's my question to you. Biden was put in there, sucked into there 2 years ago. Is there a chance, in your opinion, that the people who could come in here and say, all right, get these clowns out of here, the big boys have showed up. Does that happen, or do they destroy the entire country before then? They got 16 months.
If they can destroy the entire country, they will do it.
Do you think they can take the 16 months and get to the promised land?
This is all about New World Order, Eric.
Do you think they can do that in 16 months?
I think they can do it in a lot less than 16 months. I think that what happened is Trump being elected completely messed up their plan. They were already heading in this direction. Him getting into that presidency just messed up their plan. It slowed everything down. And then when the 2020 election came across, they cheated the way that they did. They cheated so hard to keep him out of office so they could continue this plan towards New World Order.
Here's what I hate about this.
That's why the war has to happen between NATO and BRICS.
Here's why I hate this discussion, because I even see this on Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson every night does a fantastic job of finding the evidence of what they're doing. He always says, so why are they doing this? He never has a thesis on exactly why
Well, they're doing it
what
because
they're doing.
they want new world order. This is why I just said
it's intentional destruction.
Yeah, but
it is
but that
intentional.
is so that I can't feel that.
You know why?
Because
You're
it's
all
not
the way
right,
back
right.
to the first George Bush.
The reason you can't feel it,
I can't feel it.
is because if you can connect the dots, you can try to stop it.
But does
they don't want you to
and
connect
stop
the
thinking.
dots.
But soccer moms, they vote on tangible
Now
things.
you're taking us to a different
I'm
issue.
sorry.
We're
That's
not-
where I'm
let's-
going to
let's
always
take-
go. I'm going to always go there.
Let's take all that. Stop thinking of yourself as a person, as a human,
Okay.
because to them you're not.
I'm a light being.
To them you're just collateral damage. Your life
Bingo.
does not matter at all to this
Absolutely
government.
true.
It does not matter. There's a handful of people at the very top, and it's not even the very wealthy business owners we know. It's not even them. This is the people at the very top of the top. And those people, they are going to be the ones who are left to rule this world, and their families after them. And they have been building the empire their entire lives. And it will come to a point where NATO has to fight BRICS for us to keep the ultimate power. And that is exactly why these countries are all choosing sides. And all of them outside of Europe, they are all choosing BRICS because they are all against our world
it's
dominance.
The scariest thing going, Eric, is BRICS. It is the scariest by far because number one, you get countries together. Okay, so a formidable force is now there. Then two, oh yeah, guess what? We're going to get 30, 40, 50, 60 countries to stop using the dollar and use our own. See ya, sucker. Oh crap. Number three, oil production by Saudi Arabia, who has now got a peace treaty with Iran because of China, goes, oh yeah, we're going to stop production. I'm just telling you, the way you destroy America is from within and with the dollar, and it's happening.
You're right.
And our lives don't matter because you know what? Everything you do every day, all that's happening is all that money is going up to the very
And
top.
we're not,
up to the top.
and Eric, we're not crazy conspiracy theorists.
No, you're not.
Bringing up facts. We're all this together.
No,
And you were talking about they do see us as these little ants
we are little worker
that make
ants.
money so that it goes to the top. But when they truly believe that when we suck things out of the environment, like we have our babies, that's why they're so pro-choice. They don't want us to have babies. They really think that we're taking their land and we are sucking their energy out. They only want our money, but we are not humans to them at all.
And there's too many of us now, and they want to fix it. There's too many of us.
Wow.
Worker ants. Does that put a different perspective?
Well,
in your
so
head?
I
Just
look
at
at
China. They did that
No,
to their
yeah.
babies there. Now they're doing it here.
That's weird. You can't. It takes a while for your mind to process
Eric,
that.
I'm
stuff.
thinking about it
Yeah.
more and more when I'm out. There's times, hey, I'm living my normal life, not thinking
Mhm.
about what's happening across the country, across the world.
Mhm.
But then there's other times where I'm thinking more about, damn, how could it change in 2 years? What would happen to savings? What will happen if gas prices are $5 again?
Yeah.
So then I think, then my mind goes, well, certainly we've got backers in Congress that are not going to let this happen, right? They're going to sound the alarm.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't trust any of those guys.
You
either.
don't? You guys?
Of course not.
No, I don't.
And then I'm like, well, something's got to be said, right? The only thing that we have heard is that the factions who were full of these horrible changes and things that are happening is that Trump called them out. And of course, as we've talked about, and said, they're coming for you. I just happen to be standing in the middle.
Yeah.
Or standing in the
Well,
way.
is there a time? And I'm not saying I'm not a patriot. I don't say I don't look, but I'm not even say about me. Is there a time that a human, an American, and let's say they're not even into politics. This is for Tabitha and Lizzie. They're not even into politics. They're not a Democrat. They're not a Republican. When the flavor of this country becomes so sour that you don't look at the flyovers at the football game as patriotic anymore, that you're like, man, these guys have screwed things up so bad. Is there a day where you're like, I renounce being an American citizen?
A lot of people already have done that because they think like that. We don't.
They're like, I'm going to New Zealand or an island off of New Zealand.
We are the
That's
people
your
who
liberals.
Yeah, well, we are the people who will stay here and fight for our country. Think about Eric, the very top echelon of the country, really of the world, over Europe. Those people, they don't care about us. They're saving all of their money. They've got bunkers built.
Their money's not worth anything according to you.
Well, their money's digital. They can just print more money. Money is just a sham for the rest of us. All that is that you go out and work. They tax you 73 cents on every dollar you make. That money goes up. and it never comes back down. And what's happening, and that's what monopolies are all about. Think about during COVID, all that was a big shuffle of money. It brought the people who were middle class, upper middle class down to the lower class. It made the people at the super top wealthier. And it forced all of us to shop at these big conglomerates. And all that money you're spending at those big conglomerates, it's all going up.
Tabitha could do
down.
a master's class.
She's
but it is.
Tabitha
right.
could do a
She's saying. She's exactly right.
Well, this Peter just said, why do you think we're moving to Mexico? And he wanted to let us know that he's simulcasting while on a plane to Mexico right now.
Shut up.
Thank you for
Shut up.
doing that. Is he telling the truth? Is he really doing that?
No, yes.
Absolutely.
I have several friends who have recently moved to Mexico.
Wow.
Some that have opened businesses there. And it's crazy to think that that's a possibility, and they live there and they live safely and they don't have any problems. But it's happening.
Drug
It is happening.
cartels over the U.S. government.
The drug cartels are taking over here. I mean, it's insane what's going on in this country.
Yeah,
it really is.
I'm just
it's a great
fascinating
distribution
question.
of wealth, Eric. Is what this is.
At what point do you not remember how great this country was?
And it will be.
You know what I mean? It's like, when does the nostalgia in your head leave and go, man? We kind of I don't like this anymore. I don't like this anymore. Schools, no, I want my kids educated.
It has to have its
You know
own,
what I'm saying?
But it has to have its own silo in your brain. Here's the thing, Eric, you have to remember what the good was because it's not here still.
Right.
But then you also have to go out of that silo for a second and go into the current silo and go, okay, I remember what this silo was all about. Now I got to go fight for this silo.
Yeah.
Because this is what we have today is not what we had in this other side.
And it was quick because I remember that just 2 years ago, they were just trying to beat down Trump. But outside of the Trump stuff, life was pretty good. Remember?
What's interesting?
Because he was changing it from what they were wanting it to be.
Yeah. I mean, I remember turning on the TV and, oh, wow, look, they put the embassy in Jerusalem now. Oh, that's a good job, USA. It's about time. Oh, look at this. They're protecting the border, building okay, nice job, USA.
Peter also says the media tells lies about Mexico because he
yes,
there.
they do.
Yeah, they do.
They go there.
They
And I'm
do.
like, really? But the other issue that you bring up the border too, and there's one of those things that Tabitha brought up, is you say Chinese
That's correct.
people, Chinese residents, Chinese what
I am
are now
working-
coming into this country.
I'm working on a guest for us, and he appeared on Fox News. I believe it was one day this week. I didn't see it. I heard about it. And his last name is Chang. And basically what he was explaining is that we are going to be in a war with China. It's coming. It's going to happen. Now take this for what you want. I'm just relaying what he said. And he said, we will have fighting right here on our own soil. He said China is already sending their operatives over because they're catching them coming across the southern border. They're single men, single Chinese men. They're not bringing their family. They're coming alone. Okay. And he absolutely believes they're coming here just like a terrorist would. See, other countries have learned by what ISIS and other terrorists have done. Mm-hmm. They know they can come up through our southern border. Anyone can. And they can enter and they can also form cells. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a Middle Eastern terrorist. Anyone can be a terrorist. And he is saying that it is no doubt whatsoever that China intends to fight us on our own soil.
Well, maybe. I don't know how.
And I'm not talking about China sending troops over. I'm talking about terror cells being activated.
So here's
in
what
the
we're
United
surrounded
States.
with. Every day, I don't know what news sources you guys read, but every day I'm like working at work and I check my computer. Pentagon says there's a mothership in the galaxy. And then you see another story that says mothership in the galaxy. And you're like, that can't be true. And then the next news story you go flip over to is creator of AI says AI is going to kill all human beings. Well, that can't be true. And you flip through it and you go, Joe Biden giving all of our oil reserves away. You're like, that can't be true. We're in a world of complete disbelief on all news stories. Everything that Tabitha sends us in our little text. By the way, what we should do is say, for $50 a year, you can become part of the Cancel This text, because you would get some amazing content.
Or they could just be on my personal Facebook
or your
page,
personal.
I posted on there
Okay,
too.
well there you go. Go to her. But you hear this stuff and you're like,
and
the
Eric,
first thing I think in my mind, that can't be true. That can't be true.
But you know, most of it is. Most of it is true. Some of it, we just guess.
Yeah.
You know, we speculate. But most of it, Eric, it is true. Mm-hmm. This thing with China, we can't say for sure it's true. But you know what we can say is true? And it is factual, is on our southern border, they are catching people from China and several other countries coming into the United States. And don't think that the
Wait
other
a second, you
countries don't
buried
know
the
what's
lead.
going on.
You just said we're actually catching people from China. We're actually
We are.
catching somebody at the border.
We are
You haven't
actually-
seen those
we
pictures
are
yet?
Many, but a
I
lot
was
of
teasing.
single Chinese men.
We're
are
actually
coming
catching
in.
people at the border.
We are, you know what? Because here's the thing: we are apprehending people at the border, and we're catching terrorists. Sometimes people from China, sometimes people from many other countries. But think about the fact that we only apprehend less than 20% of all the people that come through. So how many people are coming through that we know nothing about? How many of them have dirty bombs? How many of them have tactical nuclear weapons? How many of them have bioagents? We have no idea what is coming into this country. And how can we trust any of these other countries? As much as I don't like the Biden regime, I still love my country. And I know it will get better,
if you are,
but not with these people in charge.
If you're right, and these guys know exactly what's going to happen, let's say with the Alvin Bragg stuff or with the oil reserve or with all this stuff, if you're right and they know exactly what they're doing, guess what they also know? They knew there were going to be American citizens having these exact same conversations like we're doing right now. They knew it.
They don't care about us.
I think you're right.
They do not.
I think you're right.
They don't care. You know, they used to try to hide stuff from us. They don't even hide it from us anymore because they know they have their thumb on us. And with COVID, that's what COVID was all about. It was about a control. It was about moving money around. And they'll come up with something else next.
Well,
And they're
there will always be
accelerating it
something.
because they know we know. That's why it's getting
They don't
accelerated
care.
because they don't want Trump to come back. And so they're accelerating. It's been going on all along, but now they know we know.
Yeah.
So they're going full force trying to get as much done while Biden is in
And
there.
they want us to identify ourselves. You know, that's a big plan right now. Let us identify ourselves. Let us make it known who we are by talking out, by posting on social media. We all probably have a little file somewhere. And guess what happens when we go to digital currency? They're going to know everywhere we go, everything we
That's
do,
the
every
deal.
dollar you spend.
That's what happens with digital currency.
And then they shut you down when you oppose the government.
And the digital currency is brought to you by the central bank.
I don't think that they actually, to be honest with you, I don't think that they actually have a problem with you having these thoughts. I don't think they do. I think they were anticipating these thoughts.
Who's they?
The digital currency ghost people, whoever Tabitha's talking about over there.
I don't think they care what we think, but they care.
I don't
if we,
think she
they
gives a
care,
damn.
They care if we mobilize together because they know we are stronger than them.
I think
Donna
they knew.
says Happy Holy Week.
Yes, happy Holy Week, Donna.
And happy birthday to, who was it? Todd's birthday
Todd
today?
Bodecker
Todd.
and Bill
And
Robinson.
Bill? All right.
And
Todd
then
and Bill.
yesterday, it was
Happy
Margie
birthday.
Schrader's birthday.
Margie, happy birthday to you as well. It's a big
We
family.
appreciate everybody jumping in on that. Hey, another thing too, in the midst of all of that that's going on, I look at this story and I think of Tabitha too. You know, you just have to be able, and you have to be willing, and you have to be courageous enough to say something or to stand your ground. Case in point, NHL, the Blues, the St. Louis Blues, they host their Pride Night tonight. So yeah, there's a Pride Night at all the sporting events now for whatever reason. You know, if you're for it, great. If you're not, whatever. Well, the players allegedly behind the scenes said that they didn't want to do this. So now the Blues are not going to be wearing the Pride warm-up jerseys for their pregame skate. So they've joined a bunch of teams. However, they still have their Pride Night tonight, and then they had a logo. They put out their logo, that the rainbow-colored blue flag, and they did it for St. Louis City SC as well. But keep in mind, this started at the beginning of the year where you had one player who said, listen, my Russian Orthodox faith says I can't wear and support this, but if you guys want to go do it, great. I'm not going to wear my jersey. So he didn't. And then another player stood up, and then a third one did, two brothers.
Yeah.
And then now the Blues are joining several other teams who said, you know what, we're still going to have the Pride Night, but we're not going to force players to wear jerseys. If players wanted to wear jerseys, they can, but the teams are all, and I repeat, all saying, no, we're not going to do it. That includes the Minnesota Wild, the New York Rangers, the Chicago Blackhawks, and now the St. Louis Blues as well.
It makes sense to me. I know the owners of the Chicago Blackhawks and all the coaches very well, actually. I know all the owners of the Blues, except for maybe one. And these are not woke people. I mean, they are literally not woke people. As a matter of fact, some of them have listened to the show before. They are definitely not woke people.
Well, and that's when when the Cardinals,
and they know their base,
and they do know their base, and the Cardinals were putting BLM on their mound for a while. And my first instinct was, I'm not going to go there. I don't want this woke stuff. But then I thought about stuff you've said, Tab. Most of the players don't want it either. So I
Right.
went back to going to the game.
And I have,
It's not
again-
the players.
And it's
Again,
not about
every single-
anti-LGBTQ
No,
at all.
Every
It is
single
not at
one of
all.
us in this room
It isn't.
has a LGBTQ friend. Some of them have family
I have
members.
many.
100%.
I mean, and we love them all. We love
Right.
them all. But my
Right.
God, but you can't force somebody to do something for corporate, exposure. You can't.
Right.
You just can't. Here, they're available to you. Remember, they had the Coleman cancer awareness when the players would wear the pink socks.
Susan
and all
G.
that stuff.
Coleman.
Susan G. Coleman. They'd wear the pink socks. Not every player did, but a lot of them did, and they liked wearing that pink thing in awareness. You can't. It has to be optional. It has to be
it
optional.
doesn't belong in sports.
It doesn't belong in
It
Sports
sports.
should be
doesn't.
non-political, and I hate it for the Susan G. Komen Foundation. But I'll
too.
tell you what,
I don't.
There shouldn't be a Susan G. Komen night either. There shouldn't be any
Wow.
night.
There shouldn't be any
There
night. I
shouldn't be
agree with
any
you,
night.
too. No
You know what?
night.
Sports
No night.
is about sports. Go and watch your sports and go support Susan G. Komen on your own. If you want to give her money, give or the organization money, go do it.
I
I've
can't
walked in
agree
their
anymore.
walks before.
I can't agree
Really?
anymore.
It doesn't
Totally agree.
belong
I
in
totally
sports.
agree.
I thought it was kind of cool though that the first time I saw it was Dallas Cowboys. I remember it was Dallas Cowboys versus the Vikings, and I think it was Emmitt Smith or some, and he had pink shoes on. I was like, what the?
We may have addressed this in the past. It sounds cool and it seems cool. And
It does.
It's that candy,
Yeah.
cotton candy feeling.
Mhm.
But then once again, as I say, you sneak the poison in.
Yep. You
There
open the
are
door.
people, Eric, who love abortions, and there's people who love supporting abortions, and they're allowed to do that, to have Planned Parenthood there. But the Susan G. Komen Center, guess who they fund?
Yeah.
They fund Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
They give money to Planned Parenthood.
They absolutely do.
So then that can become an issue for others. So then it becomes controversial. It becomes for some moral and for many political.
Mhm.
So then it's not as cool and nice. And then guess what? Then you promote it down to the kids. So then the kids start to go, oh, yeah, we support Susan G. Komen. And 5, 10, 15 years later, yeah, I've always supported Susan G. Komen.
Yeah.
And then you don't even know everything that's going on. That's
and where
why,
you don't know where the money goes.
and that's why it's everything is such, you have to do deep dives on almost everything to understand the true meanings.
And don't you just
That's
want to
true.
go? I don't even care about sports games, but don't you think of sports? That's a place where you want to go and not worry about politics, not worry about all these
Yes.
things.
Yeah,
That's
but
the one
okay.
getaway
hold
you
on,
have.
hold on. Now, is
We
it
can
okay to
all
take?
support cancer
is
in
it-
other
now,
ways.
now you do realize whenever they have the military pulling out the flag at the beginning of the game and the flyover, that is to recruit people, right? You
yes,
understand?
it's a recruitment effort.
So you can't have
again
that.
doesn't belong in sports.
Oh, totally disagree. Oh no.
Why can't
But
sports
that's
just be
America.
Oh,
That's
no.
America.
Because you
Fly
sing
the
the
flag,
but you
fly
sing
the
the national
flag.
anthem before every game.
And you should, because you
Have you ever
are
been to
in
the
the United
Daytona
States of
500?
America. You should support
Go
the
to the
country
Daytona
that you're
500 sometime during the national
I
anthem
love
and see
it.
those
I
jets
love it.
fly over
in. I am 100%
with the camo
supportive of it.
on everybody. Come on, man. That's America. And
Yeah,
that's
I think
from,
we should have that.
yeah.
Eric, I drank a beer outside last night and it wasn't Bud Light because of the whole situation.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did it because of
I
that?
did it intentionally. And I told the guy I was with why I was doing it. He's
Mhm.
like, yeah, fair enough. Do it.
Well, I think Kid Rock blowing the crap out of all of those Bud Light
That was
boxes
great.
was
That's
is-
great. Love that.
Do we want to show Kid Rock again?
Yeah, let's do it.
It
Let's
was
do it.
brutal. It
I
was
mean-
awesome.
I mean,
man.
I guess we could show. We started.
you know
the
what?
show doing it.
I mean, like we said yesterday, if Anheuser Busch wants to do that, more power to them. That's
Sure.
their corporate
company.
in their boardroom, and they're making a power decision. Fine. It's also Kid Rock's prerogative to take a shotgun to your bottles.
This is because of Bud Light supporting Dylan Mulvaney, transgender influencer.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today.
Sounds like Eric.
Let me say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
Fuck Anheuser-Busch. Have a terrific day.
Yeah, that's not one of those pawn shop machine guns, right?
No.
Yeah, I think that was a real one.
Which one was that, Scotty? You have any idea? The powerful one, I guess.
That's an AR.
Okay. There,
Probably cased with 9mm.
yeah. Okay. I wouldn't want to be in front of it. That's all I know.
No, that's a serious gun and some serious damage to
Yeah.
those Bud Light cans.
and a beautiful river behind him. Now we know
I
where
think
he
it's a
lives.
pond.
That's
I
right.
think
It
it's
was
a
a pretty
pond.
scene. I was thinking that too,
Yeah.
Tab.
America.
America.
And you make this as
God bless
clear and as
America.
concise as possible. That is how you do it right there.
It's
man.
companies not knowing their base. It's crazy. But when people don't know their base, guess what happens? You lose money.
Yeah.
I don't
think so, Tab.
I hope Bud Light does, but I don't think it's going to register.
Yeah, I don't think so, Tab.
I think they think it's bolstering sales because
I wish.
nobody's drinking it. So they're hoping transgenders drink it. That's what I'm thinking.
You might be right, but there's a lot of blue collar cats that like
Maybe
Bud Light.
beer consumption is down over the last 3 years. Liquor has increased. Liquor sales have increased.
What is this?
That's what COVID whatever that word is, shut down did to us, made us drink hard.
And last year, wine has stayed about the same. That was.
Well, to be honest with you, beer is on the top echelon of bad things to put in your body. It is literally bread, carbohydrates, sugar. It is the worst thing you can do to your body. Now, that being said, a nice rum and Coke with a diet splashback is not bad for your body.
I found a new drink.
Yeah, Diet Coke
Soda's
is so healthy
like one
for
of the
you.
worst things, and diet's even worse.
Whatever.
So I
drink the real stuff.
I stopped drinking soda this weekend. I found something to replace it.
Go.
Sparkling ice with caffeine.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Sparkling ice.
That will kill
Is
you.
phenomenal.
What is it called?
Sparkling ice with caffeine.
There's a
Where do
they
I
have a
get it?
spark. It's a water. It's
Yeah?
sparkling ice water.
Yeah.
And then now they have it with caffeine.
Caffeine is bad for you.
And so what do you put in
Like,
it?
I need something to get me going in the morning and
Yeah.
cut through,
We'll get you going in the morning.
So what do you put in it? What are you doing vodka? I take it.
Well, no, just now I'm drinking, but you know what? They'll be very good with my Tito's, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Of course.
Yeah,
I haven't
it
tried
is.
that yet.
Yeah. Well, we'll do it tomorrow morning.
We can do that tomorrow. Hey, do
With
we have
Kathy Helbig?
Kathy, Steve? Guess what? We're drinking today. Get ready.
Need it. We need it.
Tabitha, do we have a guest tomorrow? Do we?
I believe we do.
Joe?
I think we're going to have Dan Biggs, who is the former.
So it's Dan, not
assistant-
Joe.
Correct. I'm hoping to get Joe to join us as well. Maybe not tomorrow though. But Dan Biggs is the current assistant DA in New York City.
Yeah,
former assistant DA in New York
Has
City.
everybody got their popcorn ready?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens today.
I'm popping it. I'm ready. I'm going to be watching it.
All right. We'll follow it. We'll keep you in touch. It is cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate you guys joining us every day. Please share the show, like, subscribe. You can send the stars if you can donate or know anybody that can donate or be a part and love what we do as a sponsor, an advertiser, whatever the case. Please let us know as we continue to rock and roll on this show. For Scotty Gherkin, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel, I'm Vic Faust. Everybody, have an awesome Tuesday, April 4th. We'll see you next time. For Scotty Gherkin, Lizzie Sparks, Eric Johnson, Tabitha Hassel, I'm Vic Faust. Everybody, have an awesome Tuesday, April 4th. We'll see you next time.